We just stepped on board Disney's newest cruise ship for the first sailing of the Disney Destiny. Are you guys excited?
I've never been more excited to reach my destiny.
We're going to go the distance.
Oh, we are going to go the distance. And also to DeVille's.
And the Sanctum.
And the
Haunted
Haunted Parlor.
We need to go.
Have you guys seen Loki? The Disney Destiny is Disney Cruise Line's 7th ship in their fleet, and it is the 3rd in the Wish class, adding to the Wish and the Treasure. Curious about those ones? We, of course, have been on them, and there's full videos and reviews on the channel now. But we're checking out the Destiny this time, seeing if it's worth your time, worth your money, and what those specialty offerings are. There are some wild ones, including one specific aspect of the ship that is better than any other cruise ship I have been on. We'll get to it. Now, I am on the christening sailing. The ship hasn't quite set sail yet, but it is very close to setting sail in the Bahamas and the Caribbean for 4 and 5 night sailings. And then starting in summer 2026, those sailings will be even longer. This is not something that will happen on your cruise, probably, unless something really weird happens. It's me and Miranda, okay?
Not a lot of
Bonk. And me and Breedlove, okay? Bonk.
Hi! Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
This is a special party, basically, launching the ship. And as you can see, huge party event where we've got, special drinks and things like that. What we're waiting for is the actual commencement ceremony where the ship will be dedicated and everything. It is a very exciting time. So a little bit of party, and then we get to see the commencement. Okay, so we went to our mandatory muster drill. You can't have your phones up during this because it's all about safety, but basically they'll explain everything about how to wear the life jackets and what to do in the unlikely case of a real emergency. This is where you go. This is where you could potentially board lifeboats. Obviously, that's an unlikely situation, but it's something you have to do on every cruise. Doesn't matter how many times you've been, you gotta do your muster and find out how to be safe. Safety is the priority. So we've done that, and now we are in the Grand Hall because we are on a very special cruise. This is the commencement cruise for the Disney Destiny. It is the cruise that officially launches it before it sets sail for the public. So there are some significant festivities tonight, but we were just told that the start of the festivities, the starts of the heroes and villains moment, is in the Grand Hall right now. So as you can see, when there's something going on in the Grand Hall, people show up. And typically there's a number of people who sit down in front of the stage, but then standing behind them and lining the balconies because the Grand Hall does go from level 4 to 5 to 6. Now, Disney started slow with the cruise business, but they have been expanding a lot. So a lot more ships are on the docket, which means they can be a little more niche with the themes. This one, for instance, is themed to heroes and villains. A lot of the offerings around the ship are themed to very specific heroic characters or villainous characters. That includes adults-only bars. It includes an incredible new Broadway-level stage show that we're going to talk about. If I had to guess, I think we're about to be introduced to the storytellers for the Disney Destiny. The Disney Treasure has 2 new original characters named Zaya and Doc Gamble. These 2 are storytellers for the ship, and they can be found in entertainment offerings throughout your entire voyage, helping to tell some of the stories of these heroes and villains. They have been incredible. They are very cool. They are also very interactive, learning folks' names around the ship, so you just might find yourself friends with Zaya and Doc Gamble.
Ship, did you find what you were looking for?
Did all of you? Yeah! Of course you did.
We are on the Disney Destiny for it to officially set sail, and that means we have to go to the sail away party. Now, if you are on the ship, your sail away party will typically be around 4 p.m., sort of daytime vibes. We are going to a nighttime sail away party, which I'm not sure they've ever done. So we are going to see the first ever, maybe last ever, I don't know, outside of weird situations, nighttime sail away party, watching the Disney Destiny sail away from Port Everglades for the first time. with guests on board until it's set sail to the public.
Look at the cool elevator. They've got villains, me, this. All right, here we are. We are in a Baymax themed room. Let's see if it'll do it. Very excited to show you our full digs. Now, I will say, if you've not ever done a cruise before, this might be new. If you have, this is old hat. You do need your key card. Turn it on. That's how your lights work. Without your key in here, it's not gonna work. It also doesn't have to be your key. It can be any card of this size. I know a lot of people will bring just a random card and leave it the whole time. I just tend to use my key. Okay, first, closets. This is where you're gonna find your safe, laundry bag, and hopefully something you never need, your life preservers. This is just closet space, but it does have robes and nice little slippers. And if you're going to use one of the beds, one of the ladders. On the other side, this is where you're gonna find your toilet, your sink, me doing this, hitting the toilet. Okay, right next door to your toilet, you're going to find your shower. There is a full-length body mirror. You can see people do this. And then there's also this mirror. See me do this. It does have another sink. You're also gonna find quite a bit of storage and towels, as well as your full shower and tub. Now, to the room. This is our lovely queen bed. It does have the Destinies here below it, and we are in a Big Hero 6 room, so of course we have Big Hero 6 artwork. On both sides of the bed, you can find this lovely little lamp, as well as a light, an additional reader light. Those are the knobs that turn them on and off. Very fun. You can also turn off the lights from here, and there is a USB, USB-C, and a normal charging port. They also have this, that's Quincy's jewelry, and there is space below your lovely little storage here. If you're packing big bags, there's not a ton of floor space, so you can slide them down here underneath the bed, which we will inevitably end up doing. It's very nice and very helpful. There is even more storage space through here, just a lot of shelves. Your TV is across from the bed. Same thing on this side. Now, this is a couch. Very nice table with the couch. This couch can lay flat and turn into a bed. And then up here is another bed that will come out of the ceiling for your smaller kiddos. Now this curtain will come all the way across if that's something you want, kind of making it a 2-room situation. This is going to be your vanity area. There's another mirror. Very nice. Lots of shelves. Your phone, this is where our remote was as well. More shelves, this lovely bag we got, a Destiny bag. And then just lots of places. We put a lot of computers here, makeup products. There are more plugins on the side, which is really nice. A lot of drawers as well. Hair dryer, tips for traveling, a heat pad. I use this when I straighten my hair. I'll put my straightener on that while it's still hot. This though, this is no mere drawer. No, it's a refrigerator. Obsessed with that. It's really more of a drink cooler, not a full fridge, but super cute. And then up here, you're gonna find some goodies. You can also find these. These are very important because this is how you're gonna get breakfast brought to your room if you want it. You can actually choose your delivery time, what you want, and we love doing this. It's really convenient. Even if you end up going to eat breakfast somewhere else, it's nice to wake up to coffee and juice. So highly recommend it. It's all included. Across the mirror, you can also see more Big Hero 6 artwork, very cool. Now, one thing I love about these rooms, they feel particularly big for a cruise room, and they actually come with even more storage over here. A full closet, which is just really nice because even if you're not an unpacker, we tend to recommend it for cruising to go ahead and unpack, get everything you're gonna need, and so that way you can kind of slide your big bags underneath the bed and be done with it. But that's not everything. We haven't left port yet, but we do have a very nice veranda. We are in a veranda room, which will eventually overlook the ocean. And right now, it's a parking deck. How gorgeous and lovely is that? So there you have it, very quick, but this is the room. It's very nice. I love a Disney stateroom, and this is no exception. And I also love Big Hero 6. And if you're not a fan, go rewatch it right now because you should be.
Oh, you're back. how are the rooms? We are going to talk about some of the incredibly themed dining options. Now, for these themed bars, they usually have part of the day that they're open to everyone, so your kiddos can come, and part of the day that they are open to adults only. So that will be reflected in your navigator, very easy to access, because that is the Disney Cruise Line app. And if you're headed somewhere that is adults only and you are with your kids, don't worry, they have somewhere to be, and it is very cool, and we will be checking it out. First up, we have DeVille's. This is the piano bar on board, and it is in fact themed to none other than the fabulous, the incredible, the fashionable Cruella DeVille. Expect drinks inspired by the 101 Dalmatians movie. DeVille's has a ton of hidden details, starting before you even walk in the door. The doors that look just like the doors to Roger and Anita's house that you see Cruella's silhouette through in the movie. The mosaic on the floor, how marvelous, has 15 paw prints for the 15 puppies that are kidnapped in the first film. On the walls, actual concept art and art from the original 101 Dalmatians films, as well as nods to Cruella's automobile all over the bar. But perhaps the coolest thing that can happen at DeVille's is Cruella herself showing up to wreak a little havoc in Troublemaking with Cruella. This is an entertainment offering that you can find in your Navigator app, but it was highly popular. Very popular. Basically, the storytellers show up to bring everyone in the bar together to help write Cruella a nice song. Since Roger wrote such a mean one, it's pretty mean actually, he's pretty mean to her if you listen to the lyrics, so you write a nice song for Cruella, and that is what happens during Troublemaking with Cruella. Cruella comes back, you perform it for her, and maybe you get a positive review. I definitely recommend this Cruella entertainment offering. It is so incredible. One thing I will caution is that the line got extremely long for this, so check your Navigator app, and you probably want to line up 30 minutes early minimum to make sure that you get a chance to help write a song for Cruella. I also think it's possible that this is so popular that it will end up being a surprise and delight that is not listed in the Navigator, so maybe hang out in DeVille's. You might see Cruella. You never know.
Down. What should we do, everyone?
Who has an idea?
Should we compliment her?
We could compliment her, yes, but we have this pianist.
And it's a song that upsets
We
her,
should
so...
do a new song.
Zaya,
we should do a
new
new song.
Oh, I think that'll work.
Yes.
I'll tell her. I already have.
Okay.
It's fabulous to think your creativity can flip these falsities into flatteries.
The next themed lounge we have is the Sanctum, themed to the New York Sanctum, where Doctor Strange first learns the arcane arts, getting his power. You'll notice some serious details in here, including the bartenders wearing sling rings. Every drink has a little bit of mystic power, and there's even a levitation cloak behind the bar. I like that a lot. I thought I was
really
gonna like this.
refreshing. Some of these drinks are, you want to finish them fast, or you might take hours. This is something that I would just keep in my hand and mindlessly sip in a really nice way.
And it does come in these 2 little cups. When the food and bev team was telling us about it, they said that it's, you know, you can enjoy it by yourself or with a friend. Like, it makes it, it's just a cool presentation, so.
Are you serious?
Sorry, it's the blue sugar. It's like calling me. You're gonna spill on me.
No, I'm not.
She was so close to spilling on me.
That's so good.
The sugar is blue raspberry, and the drink itself is like acidic, but it's not like so sharp and acidic that I'm like having a flash forward to the heartburn I'm gonna have.
I think it tastes like when I get a hot coffees and add a little Baileys to it, like in a positive
That's exactly
way.
what it tastes like.
It's really comforting. It's very
Drink
familiar. It's nothing that's going
Watch
to
out
knock your
for the blue.
socks off.
This is the distortion, and my favorite thing about this is the glass, because I think this glass is so cool. It's like they were like, we wanted a distorted glass. What's going on?
It's sour blue raspberry.
This is a whiskey drink. Tastes like a classic whiskey drink. Tastes most similar to like an old-fashioned.
My recommendation is don't come here when it's the only bar open. It's very overwhelming. Service, unfortunately, was pretty slow, which is not the cast member's fault. Just no, you're not opening a, please don't let her open a portal.
Just like the Treasure, the Destiny is home to the Haunted Mansion Parlor, an extremely popular Haunted Mansion themed bar with an all-new nautical theme to it. One catch, though, is the menu has been totally overlaid, which I didn't love the menu on the Treasure, but I do love it here on the Destiny. So incredible ghostly drinks and lots of ghostly happenings to be found inside.
The Chilling Challenge my way.
The Siren Ethereal Encore.
Watery, floral, easy to sip.
This is very forward on the pineapple, so very tropical, kind of like a tiki drink, which is actually kind of the vibe of the Haunted Mansion drinks.
13th hour. I don't know. I like that actually a lot.
Very acidic.
Hinges creak in doorless chambers, and strange and frightening sounds.
I think someone's here.
echo.
Now, not quite as exciting as the other theme bars, but maybe the most exciting for me, because I'm a Pirates girl, is Cask and Cannon. This is technically the sports bar on board. They have big TVs. It's where you can watch games sometimes while you're on board, but it's also going to be a great spot for craft beer, as well as some great rum drinks, and it is fully themed to Pirates of the Caribbean. The ceiling is a Pirates of the Caribbean treasure map. There are Pirates details all around the room and nods to Pirates attractions from around the Disney parks around the world. Absolutely incredible bar. It was very full while we were there, just like all the other themed bars. I think I would spend my time in this one if given choice. Now, one thing that is an absolute must if you are sailing on a Disney cruise is checking out the Disney Cruise Line app. This is an app that you can get for free on the App Store or the Google Play Store that will take you through everything that is happening on your cruise. Back in the day when you took a cruise, you used to get a navigator that was paper and they stuck it to your door. My first Disney cruise, that was how things happened. But nowadays, it's all on here, baby. Cruises do have Wi-Fi. It does cost extra to get unlimited Wi-Fi, but everyone has access to enough Wi-Fi to use the Disney Cruise Line app. And this will show you everything that there is going on all day on the ship. It will show you dining hours. It will show you when to meet and find characters. It is really a must-have. You can also book port adventures and onboard activities in this app, anything upcharge. I recommend downloading the app and getting a little bit familiar before your cruise. And here is an AllEars pro tip, one that I do not take the responsibility of sharing lightly because it could make it less of a good tip. But if you guys are watching, you deserve to know. There are a lot of things on your cruise, typically port adventures or onboard reservations, that you can't do until you are on the ship. But that's not actually true. It's actually on the ship's Wi-Fi. And when you're at port, you can typically reach the ship's Wi-Fi and go ahead and get booking on some of those activities before you even board the ship. This can mean getting into slots that might fill up for different liquor tastings or offshore excursions, banana boat rides, you never know. This app is also important to have because it is how you will get messages from Disney Cruise that will tell you about luggage, embarkation, if you are at any ports, what time you can be all ashore or all aboard is happening. And you can even set up cruise chats with your companions. So everybody in your cabin, or if you have friends in other cabins, you can use cruise chat here so that even though you don't have service, you're able to talk to other folks who are on the cruise through the Wi-Fi. Now you can also see shopping hours in the Disney Cruise Line app, which are available at several shops around the ship, offering like pool supplies. They've also got general Disney cruise merch, including special Disney Destiny collections.
So you'll probably notice a couple of different collections here. Let's start with this very first one. This is kind of the classic Disney Destiny collection. You can see this bright purple. It fades into an ombre of blue with the gold lettering with the Disney Destiny. There's a lounge fly that also matches it. We've got some Pandora charms, some dangle charms, and some static ones there. I'm seeing the Disney Cruise Line logo, Disney Destiny, and Captain Minnie. And then right up here, I'm seeing a Disney Destiny tote bag. Oh, this is cute. It's got the ship on the side of it. A couple of different pins for the inaugural sailings, including one of the ship, and then one of Captain Mickey and Minnie. But I am a sucker for these quarter zips here, and it's super textured. Looks like we've got a collectible coin, another ornament, the center focal piece there in the grand atrium of the Black Panther, another Disney Destiny cup, mug, another lounge fly. Oh, this one's super cute with Spider-Man here. Oh, peep the pin there. And this one has matching lounge fly ears. This one also has lounge fly ears. Cute. Then in another collection, we got even more ears. This is kind of like a black, gold, and gray. It's like a embossed Disney Destiny. We got a bag, sweatshirt, ears. Ooh, I love this commemorative piece.
Yeah, and I love
Here's a tumbler.
I love that water bottle.
Ooh, we got a pirate's life here. Look at all this merchandise. Oh, this looks very much like the Beacon Barrel. Here's another canvas tote. Oh, and this is really fun. Look at all of this collection. It's like more of the cartoonish, animated versions of Mickey and Minnie.
Cruise cast members are incredibly hardworking. They are operating on very, very lengthy schedules. And remember, they're living on the ship with you. And I do recommend talking to the cast members here because they are from literally all all over the entire world. They have so many cool stories to tell and their cultures to share. So definitely get to know some cast members on your cruise. It's hard to avoid because they're so friendly and you will end up running into the same ones multiple times. So, you know, just don't resist it. I have found myself standing outside the Walt Disney Theater. This is the big theater on the ship. It is actually multi-story, so if you go upstairs, you can also get to seating for the Walt Disney Theater. And this is where you will see the Broadway-style massive stage shows. The way this works is that every night you will have a dinner time. It will either be the early or late dinner. If it's the early dinner, you'll have the late show. And if you have late dinner, you will have the early show. So basically everybody kind of rotates between dinner and the shows. It's not mandatory to go to the shows, but you absolutely can. And if you do on this ship, you can find yourself seeing some more recognizable shows that have been on cruises before, like the Frozen show or Disney Seas the Adventure, an original show for Disney Cruise Line. But you also could see the brand new show developed for this ship, Disney Hercules. This one seems kind of simple, but one of my biggest tips is to see the shows. It's easy to think, I don't know that I really care about an original show made for a cruise ship. Yeah, I get it, but they are incredible. The talent is incredible. It's the same talent every night, and they kind of switch around roles, so it's fun to pick out who is who. And the cruise shows can be kind of silly, but very, very fun. But what about when it's dinner time? Disney Cruise Line uses a system called Rotational Dining, which has 3 different restaurants that you will rotate through during your cruise. On those 4 to 5 night cruises, you'll double up on some, but not others. And on the longer cruises, you might double up on all of them. This order will vary, but one of them is called 1923. This is a restaurant based on Walt Disney, classic Hollywood, and the development of the original Disney films. You will notice Disney artifacts and replicas in a lot of the cases around this restaurant. It feels like a very upscale vibe, and it serves California fare. Worlds of Marvel is a restaurant that is located on the other 2 Wish class ships as well, and this is a restaurant that has a little bit of a show element too. You might find yourself working alongside Groot to show Rocket how special he is to the Guardians of the Galaxy, or you might find yourself working alongside Ant-Man as there's a little bit of an invasion on the ship. Depends on what night you end up at this restaurant, but expect some more creative fare as it's a little bit more Marvel, a little futuristic, a little superhero-y. However, this ship does have a new option with Pride Land's Feast of the Lion King, and this is a Lion King restaurant with a live stage show featuring live performers. We did get to see this. It is a restaurant that is located in an incredible environment. The atmosphere changes during the course of the show to invoke like a savanna sunset. Absolutely gorgeous. And then there is a show with live performers who are singing songs from The Lion King on Broadway, and Lion King 2. Absolutely incredible performers. There are 3 storytellers, 2 of which are vocalists, and 1 is a dancer with multiple dance solos. And then they also have 3 live percussionists who are all incredible. I will caution parents, particularly if you are picking between the Wish class ships and you know there's a Frozen show on the Wish, a Coco show on the Treasure, and here, the Lion King show. The Lion King show is the only one of those 3 that does not feature recognizable characters. They tell the story of the Lion King, they sing recognizable songs, they also sing songs that, if you haven't seen the musical, you may never have heard. But for kiddos who aren't quite at the level where they're appreciating quality as much as things that they love so much, like seeing Simba, you don't see Simba, you don't see Timon, you don't see Pumbaa. So I think that that's something that I would say, if you happen to be making the choice between this and the other Wish class ships, you may want to go with the Frozen. That said, food-wise, pretty good. This restaurant has African-inspired food, and one thing about Disney Cruise Line is often they kind of struggle between balancing with the showing authentic and delicious and bold flavors and also appealing to a lot of palates. This restaurant does a great job of walking that line where everything feels infused with more African flavors, African culture, but nothing feels so wild that if you were a picky eater, you would be totally out of your element. So absolutely love this. And it featured one of my favorite things that I ate on the ship, which was the dessert, the Malva pudding. Listen to me, you guys get the Malva pudding. If you have multiple people with you, all of you get the Malva pudding. Unfortunately, I now have to send you to Buzzkill Quincy, who is going to tell you a little bit about how much it costs to sail on this ship, which is, it's a buzzkill. How can you look at these faces and call us buzzkills? Don't leave, back me up. Where are you going? She's been laying there for like an hour. She just doesn't want to be associated with me being such a buzzkill. I am a bit of a buzzkill here. The Disney Destiny is quite pricey. Obviously, the price varies a lot based on how many people you have in a stateroom, how many nights your cruise is, and what level stateroom you have. For the cheapest it can go, a 3-night Bahamian cruise in an inside stateroom, the lowest rates that they're showing right now are $2,054. For that same cruise, the veranda room, the one that you saw Emma tour, is a little over $2,300, and that is for a 3-night cruise with 2 people in the room. And remember, that's not just like a hotel, it's the whole cruise. So it's your included food, it's the destinations you go, all that stuff. It's still pricey, and it's a lot more expensive than you can find cruises for on other cruise lines. That's also the cheapest it goes, and it can get much, much, much pricier. For instance, when this starts to go to 7-night sailings, there's a cruise where the cheapest rooms available for a 7-night sailing is like over $7,000. But there's everything in between, and that's kind of the high end. And then, of course, the more expensive room you go, the pricier it gets. So it's expensive. It's something that you have to save and budget for. And I really, really recommend looking for special offers because they do tend to do special offers where you can get discounts, or I've seen like second sailor free kind of things. So definitely keep an eye out for special offers, and I highly recommend booking your cruise using one. Anyway, I do feel like a buzzkill this time, especially because my dog abandoned me. So I guess you can go back to the fun cruise. I like literally don't even know why you guys talk to her. Buzzkill Quincy, you guys should just hang out with me. I'm fun. And by fun, I mean, let's go to the movies, which you can do on this ship. You can go to the Wonderland Cinema or the Neverland Cinema, which are movie theaters, full movie theaters. In fact, honestly, the best part about it is that they show movies that are kind of like just out of theaters. The kind of movie that you're like, oh, I wish I would have seen it. Now it's not in theaters anymore. Check out this weird portrait. What do you think that is? I'll tell you, another reason to have that Disney Cruise Line app, because it's an interactive game. This is Disney Uncharted Adventure, and it's an interactive game that you can play around the ship with these interactive portraits. And this ship doesn't have one, but 2 interactive games. Now, a lot of stuff we've talked about so far has been very family geared or more adult geared with those lounges and bars, but don't worry, kids. You've got some stuff too, and honestly, I'm jealous. I wish I never grew up. The Oceaneers Club is a kids area where parents, you can sign up your kids to hang out here, and they will be supervised by Disney cast members who will keep an eye on them and make sure they're having a ton of fun. And kids, you will have a ton of fun. I'm so jealous. The Oceaneers Club is incredible. There is a Marvel room where you can create your own super suit and maybe meet Black Panther. There's a Star Wars room where you can see space creatures and maybe run into Chewbacca. You can go into the Walt Disney Imagineering space and learn how to design your very own roller coaster and then ride it in a motion simulator. And there's Fairy Tale Hall where you can color and paint. Maybe you'll run into a princess like Rapunzel or even Belle. And for our very, very, very littles, anything above 6 months of age, there's a nursery, and it's a Small World nursery where your babies can be taken care of in the sweetest Mary Blair It's a Small World environment. Now, if you want your kiddos to do Oceaneers Club, make sure you're there to sign them up at the beginning of your cruise and get them all registered so that they can experience it. And if you have older kids, look no further than Edge and Vibe. These are the teen clubs split into different age groups. So Edge is a little younger, Vibe's a little older, and they have different activities going on around the ship the entire time. There's also the Hideaway that's kind of like tucked away, which will sometimes have events. But moral of the story, no matter what age you are, the ship has some stuff for you. Saga is a venue that houses most of the larger scale events on the cruise. You might see karaoke, whether family or adults only. You might see game shows, again, family or adults only. There is also trivia in this location, as well as some character experiences. You could catch Maleficent doing magic, which is very scary and very cool. One of the things you really might want to see in Saga is called With Great Power. This is a show hosted by the storytellers where they tell different Marvel stories, and it is an adults-only show with good reason. Nearby, you can find Triton's Lounge, which is another event location that might have things like family karaoke or trivia, or you can learn to draw Groot. And during the day, these things might also happen in some of those themed lounges we saw earlier. So keep an eye on your navigator. You never know what you might want to do. The great thing about the navigator is you can heart anything to add it to your plans, and then it will populate in Your Plans page and make it really easy for you to access the things that you've been interested in when looking through the itinerary. Hero Zone is kind of a sports geared space. They oftentimes have like regular sports you can play, but sometimes they have big inflatable experiences and obstacle courses that you can do. Crazy Karaoke is the adults only karaoke, and I absolutely love this. My friends and I like to do it every single time, so definitely recommend. A little on the boring side, but we have to talk about it. The ship has tons of amenities if you need any help. Guest services is available to you 24/7 at desks right off of the Grand Hall. You can also access health services many times, and if there's ever an emergency, you can dial directly from your room phone or any phone on the ship to get some help. There are also desks for port adventures if you're headed off the ship. Sometimes you might meet there, or if you have questions, you can head there. There is a whole Disney Vacation Club center on the ship, and if you need to do laundry, there is laundry located on the ship as well. It's called like fairy tale laundry. I've never felt like laundry was fairy tale, but it's nice to be whimsical. Also, on this main stretch of the center of the ship, you can find a couple of different salons. So this, of course, probably unsurprising, is an upcharge, but there are salon experiences at a couple of locations. The Untangled Salon offers a lot more like feminine geared experiences, haircuts, nails. There is also Hook's Barbery, which is a barbershop themed to Captain Hook. Yep. Fellas, you can get your beards trimmed, your hair cut, and there's even secret, hey, be cool, secret whiskey bar in Hook's Barbery. Pirates only. Senses Spa is the full spa on board the Disney Destiny. It offers the famous indoor and outdoor rainforest room. It is a total relaxation paradise. On top of that, you can get full spa treatments at Senses, like facials or massages. And I have never heard a bad review of a Senses spa treatment. So it's a splurge, but worth doing. Big pro tip there is that on the first day of your cruise, there are often raffles where you can win free spa treatments. Check your navigator and don't miss them. I've never won, but one day a free massage is coming my way. And Senses Fitness just next door is the gym. Warning, typically only open from about 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., so it's not 24 hours. So if you've got weird, very extremely full days on your cruise, like I do, then you might not have time to work out. But it's a great gym with beautiful views through portholes of the deck and the ocean. And it's kind of hard to beat that view. Elevators on Wish Class ships, kind of tricky. There are 2 elevator locations. One slightly closer to forward, one slightly closer to aft, that's back. And there are a lot of elevators, but this is a big complaint of these ships, is that on the sort of larger, is that on the Dream Class ships, the older Disney cruise ships, there were 3 elevator bays, and it made it a little less crowded. These elevators can get long waits. There are a lot of elevators, it moves a little faster, but just a warning. Let's talk about ship layout in general, because I've got some tips to share. Anytime you're near an elevator, you're gonna find your ship mapped. This is gonna have the forward, mid, and aft of the ship, as well as showing you sort of a top-down view of the floor that you are currently on. Remember, the left side of the ship is port, the right side is starboard, if they ever say anything like that. In most cases, you're not gonna have too much trouble getting around. This is facing the correct direction. So this way is accurately this way, and this way is accurately this way. One thing to note is that on these upper decks, you see this? This is the upper deck. So we're on 11 right now, okay? But once you get higher than 11 to 12, 13, and especially higher, you cannot walk all the way across necessarily without going up and down some stairs. So if you have lower mobility or just want to take the most direct route, you want to make sure that you're crossing the ship at deck 11 or lower. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself doing some like walking down some stairs, walking up some stairs action up on those top pool decks. And these maps are awesome. They tell you literally where everything is. And it's very easy to visually understand what's going on. So always can go to the elevators if you're ever lost. It's also where you'll find trash cans. Kind of tricky to find trash cans on the ship. So if you've got like a napkin from your soft serve, when you've eaten copious amounts of soft serve, I get it, I've been there. Oh, I bet soft serve is not open right now because it's about 3 a.m. But wow, I would crush some soft serve. The good news is room service is 24/7. Disney Cruise Line does have 2 private island locations, one a fully private island at Disney's Castaway Key, and the other a private section of an island at Lookout Key on Lighthouse Point, which is on Eleuthera, a Bahamian island. These are designed to be incredibly fun ports for Disney cruisers, and in most sailings on this part of the world, you will end up at one or the other. This time, we are headed to Castaway Key, the original private destination for Disney Cruise Line, and Breedlove took it on a bit for us, so he is experiencing it for the first time. See what he thinks.
This is actually really awesome. I didn't realize that it was like this, that you get, it's big enough that you have to get on a tram, but I love it. Made it to Serenity Bay. The trip in total took 30 minutes. That includes the wait. Not terrible at all. I don't think we're in Disney World anymore. It looks pretty peoply behind me, but I just heard someone say this is actually the least busy they've ever seen it when they've been here. So I think the beaches get pretty packed here, or at least this one does. We'll see what the other beaches are like. Reminds me a lot of Typhoon Lagoon. I'm really getting those vibes, which is very familiar and kind of fun. It's like Typhoon Lagoon, except for it's real. Serenity Bay was relatively serene, but Pelican Point has so much more going on. I think if I came back to this island, I would prioritize coming to Pelican Point instead of Serenity Bay, even though I will probably only ever be here with other adults, just because this is where all the action is. It's fun. It seems kind of like a water park, but it's a real beach in the Bahamas. What happens if you don't go back on the ship, though? Like, do I live here now?
Of course, this ship has a buffet with Marceline Market themed to Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline. You can find some great stuff on this buffet, like pot pies. They've got more international inspired foods. And in general, when the buffet is open, it's a pretty great place to eat and pretty popular. Just a warning with Marceline though, breakfast is a limited number of hours, as is lunch. It is often not open for dinner. So that's another reason to have that Navigator app open. You can go to the dining and lounges page and easily check hours for these restaurants, because missing the buffet, nothing really hurts more. If you're looking for something a little sweet, but something that is also an upcharge, you're gonna head to Edna a la Mode. These doors opened automatically. I didn't expect that. Edna a la Mode is the sweet shop. This is gonna be specialty ice cream. I think it might actually be gelato, but they have cookies, ice cream, cupcakes. The more specialty treats, the upcharge treats, are gonna be located in there. And in this case, a lot of them are Incredibles themed. And there's even more casual dining up on the pool decks. The most tried and true option is going to be Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods, which has a number of different dining options. Donald's Cantina, smokestack barbecue, pizza. There's a stand where you can get soft serve. Of course, this is where you find those classic chicken tenders, and there's pool bars around. Now everything, except of course the pool bars, is going to be included. The real winner at Mickey and Friends though, in my opinion, is smokestack barbecue. It is honestly very good, and there's a couple of different sauces you can try, as well as some pretty great mac and cheese. So I do definitely recommend smokestack barbecue. And then all around the pool deck, you can keep your eye out for pool deck bars. There are several different ones. There's one by Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods. There is technically a bar inside of Marceline Market. There's a bar at the very top of the ship called Currents Bar, and then there is the bar in the adults only area, which we'll get to. I know. We're excited. I get it. Remember though, alcoholic drinks not included, and unlike other cruise lines, if you're used to like Royal Caribbean or any other cruise lines, there are typically alcohol packages. Disney Cruise Line is kind of an exception. There are often alcohol deals. You might find drinks of the day that have a nice deal. You might find wine packages, but full alcohol packages are not really a thing. If you're ever wondering what the middle of the night looks like on a pool deck, this is it. Tons of pools. on these Wish class ships. They are all on the small side, but there are tons of different pools, which I think is preferable to one still pretty small pool. You can't do huge pools on a cruise ship. There are tons of pools themed to Mickey and Friends all on this pool deck, and often they will play movies on this massive projector. Last night at 1 a.m. I was watching Curse of the Black Pearl from a seat right here on that. Think about being at sea on a ship and watching Pirates of the Caribbean on that. I love watching the movies out here. They play them pretty much all day and even very late into the night. And those are listed in your navigator, so you can see if there's anything you might be particularly interested in watching while you're on board. This is also home of deck parties, of which the most popular, the most famous is Disney Cruise Line Pirate Night, which does happen here on a night on most cruises. If you're on a holiday cruise, you might see some holiday parties here as well, but Pirate Night is a Disney Cruise Line staple. The pirates come out, they sing, they rock out, seriously, rockin'. They say, let's rock the boat. Captain Jack does some serious stunts, honestly. And then there's a huge dance party with tons of music you might recognize. They played Pitbull. Lots of folks dress in pirate gear, and even if you forget your pirate gear, they will provide you with a pirate bandana so you can get in on the costuming too. But the biggest thing about this, the reason it is so popular and a standout for Disney Cruise Line, is that Pirate Night does come with fireworks at sea. Disney Cruise Line is the only cruise line that is able to do fireworks at sea. If anybody knows why, I'm so curious. Is it like maritime law? What's going on? Why is it only Disney Cruise Line? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. The Pirate Night dance party is a must in general, but those fireworks at sea are a standout for the entire cruise. Important to note though, the pools on the main deck are not the only pools. Do not be fooled. You are not stuck watching Luca. There are pools in a couple of different locations up here on the upper decks that might be a little more your speed, a little more tucked away. For kiddos, there is a whole Toy Story themed area with splash pads and a more kid geared slide, even with Partysaurus Rex. And then for adults, there's the Cove Pool, Quiet Cove Pool. This is a whole area of the ship that has plusher loungers. It is quieter. They do not blast kids' music or movies through here, so it's nice to read a book. And then there are beautiful pools, infinity pools that look out over the ocean, hot tubs. So take a look around and find the pool that you like whenever you're trying to relax a little bit. But the star when it comes to aquatic fun on the Disney Destiny or any Wish class ship is going to be the AquaMouse. The AquaMouse is Disney Cruise Line's attraction at sea. It is a water slide, but with the catch that during the lift hill, you actually watch ride scenes as if you were on a ride, and it's interactive. You get shot with some water based on what's happening in the ride scenes. And this is a slide experience that's featured on the Disney Wish as well as the Disney Treasure and now on the Disney Destiny. It is a bit of a long lift hill, but the ride scenes make it very fun. And then the slide on the shorter end, but still very fun, very thrilling. There is an enclosed dark portion, an open to the sky portion, and then a portion that is clear where you go out over the ocean. Very cool. The Disney Destiny does have a brand new ride scene that features a lot of villains. And I did get to ride this, but I rode it with the ride cam on this water slide when it was about 60 degrees in the Bahamas. But to be fair, it was 27 degrees in Orlando. 27! We had a really big cold front while I was on this cruise. So basically I rode the AquaMouse while it was very cold. So if it looks like I'm not having fun, it's because it was freezing. But I did really like the slide. I've talked a bit about adult-only offerings. Let's talk about them a bit more. Some of the lounges that I mentioned before, the themed ones, do become adult-only at a certain time of day. But there is a whole area of the ship that is adults-only all the time. That includes Quiet Cove Pool with Cove Bar and Cove Cafe. Cove Cafe being one of the specialty coffee shops on board. This is an upcharge coffee shop, but they have incredible coffees. And pro tip, they have coffee cards where you get stamps every time you order a coffee. If you buy 5, you get a coffee for free. And what's great about this is you can buy like 5 coffees for if you have 4 people in your room, you can buy 4 coffees for 4 people in your room, and you're already really close. So there are also 2 restaurants and a bar that is always kind of an adults only area of the ship. This entire area is Beauty and the Beast themed, and this is not new for the Destiny. It's classic on all of the Wish class ships. So the first location is the Rose, which is a lounge themed to the Rose from Beauty and the Beast. A very beautiful lounge with upscale drinks. It's supposed to be a little nicer, and that is also a great area to wait if you have a reservation at 2 of the upcharge adults only restaurants on the ship. One is Palo Steakhouse. Palo Steakhouse is available for brunch or dinner, both of which are all you care to enjoy for a fee. I did get to go to Palo Brunch, and brunch is really the more famous of the two. Really incredible flavors. Their eggs are delicious, their waffles are delicious, their pancakes. Then you can also get flatbreads and ravioli and like chicken parm at 11 a.m. And if I'm getting offered chicken parm at 11 a.m., I'm gonna eat it. So Palo Brunch, really highly recommended. Enchanté is a French restaurant, and this is true fine dining. It is multi-course of very small, very well-crafted items that are crafted by triple Michelin star chef, Chef Arnaud Lamont. I have had the incredible pleasure of meeting Chef Arnaud on a couple of occasions, and I think he might be my favorite chef in the world. I think Enchanté might be my favorite restaurant in the world. I've gotten to experience it on all of the Wish class ships, so it was my third time visiting today, and I just feel like Chef Arnaud has fun with his food and infuses it with love, and it's incredible. That said, for a lot of folks, it is not the most comfortable, fun experience because it is more upscale, everything is tiny, it is a lot of like the waiters doting on you and explaining the origin of the ingredients, and I know that fine dining can feel uncomfortable for a lot of folks. If that's you, but you still want a nicer night out, go Palo. Enchanté is also more expensive, so if you want a nice night out but not to go crazy, Palo. However, if you like fine dining, if you like French cuisine, if you want to have some of the best food I think you've ever had in your life, and you're willing to splurge, Enchanté is where it's at. And so now, unfortunately, all I have left to explain to you is how to get off of it. It's Debarkation Day. Boo! Nothing worse. However, a great time to show you some of our favorite amenities on the ship, which are these specialty coffee shops. On the ship, there are two very themed specialty coffee shops, Cafe Megara, themed to Meg from Hercules, and Cafe Merida, themed to Merida from Brave. They are beautiful coffee shops, and the specialty coffees here are incredible. I particularly loved the shortbread latte and the Calliope Muse latte. That's my favorite at each spot, but all the coffees are really good, and they give you a little loyalty card. If you buy 5, you can get a 6th one free, which is amazing, especially because you can not tell your friends that exists and pick their coffees up for them. That's not what I did. They know about it, but you could not tell your friends. That's the benefit of you watching this video. I'm getting you a free coffee. We made it off. They let us go.
We weren't so sure.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have to.
There was actually a concern. You do have to have your magic band if it's connected to your account or your Key of the World card to get off to just confirm.
They have to check you out,
check
to make sure you're not stowing away.
We didn't know if Quincy was going to be allowed to get off
because I did lose my Key to the World card. But I had my magic band. They let me off.
It worked out this time.
You then have to go through. There's also a couple ways you can get your bags off the ship. Our preference in general is to walk them off,
unless we have checked bags.
Yes.
Then we do prefer to let them do the heavy lifting.
It depends though, because if you have like an earlier flight or you're rushing to get somewhere, keep your things you want to get off the ship, because the way it works is you put a certain tag on your bag and they call groups as those bags are ready in the terminal for you to go pick them up, and you could get called hours later than somebody else. And obviously if you're just hanging out on a cruise ship, cool. But if you have somewhere to be, walk yourself off the ship. You can usually get off starting at like 7:30.
Yeah, very, very early. And they make an all call to the ship, so you know as soon as you can get off.
You just have to have your bags with you if you want to do that. Otherwise you will have to wait for your bags anyway in the port. And then after that you have to go through customs and immigration, but it's typically, for United States citizens, extremely chill. If you're still here, like this video and drop this secret code in the comments so we know you made it all the way. Plus, don't forget to subscribe. We upload tours, tips, games, and more from the ocean and beyond all week. Because we're serious about fun. Bye.
Do I live here now?